Hey guys, this is part 2. Sorry about that. It froze up on me the whole screen, so I just figured I'd just restart it, you know. So here's kind of like what I was doing today. Had some people on Fiverr. A guy got back to me after a couple days. He's looking. I got 2 guys that are going to be ranking my YouTube videos up to the 300 that we have. He's one of them said, over the next 4 to 6 weeks, I'll do what I can for links to, raise it up. The other one I'm still waiting to hear back from. My main guy for SEO is working with his administrative staff. Over a couple days, we just met each other, and they're going to get back to me on 1,500 keywords, mostly long tail keywords that fit the 80-20 market. And after I review those, we're going to work on we're going to get a report basically that shows us where the rankings are on those 1,500, and then we're going to watch them as they go up over time. And then that, to me, is data-driven marketing, and that is how I can see results to continue to keep paying them. And I'm not going to study it every single day, but in the beginning I might study it every 4 to 5 days, because SEO marketing is kind of a longer path. So getting back to the previous part 1 that I did before it froze up, thanks for the hearts. The part I'm doing is I had him put up almost 300 videos, and what we did is we branded them where I had the website, rhino.com, and then what we did is how to 80-20 your time. That's the headline that I like. One of the I had about 5 different people that are sending me keyword research. I think I got back from 3 of them. One I'm still waiting on, but one of them I noticed that showed a lot of searches was for the 80-20 rule, which is really not a big surprise. That's where most of the searches came from, is the 80-20 rule. And so because that's really where the majority of searches are going to come from, what I did is I went back to my guy on Fiverr and I said, okay, let's actually take the YouTube videos, those almost 300 that are up. Now actually for the 3rd time, because the 2nd time I actually added the intros to all of them. Or not all of them, but like 100 of them or so. I added the intros, and then the 3rd time around now we're going to actually have them fix the titles again on some of them for the 3rd time. And the reason is because I just keep getting better data, and I just kind of keep fine-tuning it. It's not like I have to start over from scratch every time. But so what we're doing now is I'm going to keep the how to 80-20 your time, but we're adding a space and then it's called a pipe. It's like a / but a pipe if you're familiar with CSV files or Excel. Then another space, and that's going to say 80-20 rule. And the reason is the title in SEO for both blogs and YouTube work amazing. So that is actually going to now come up in the search results. It's going to help me rank for not just 80-20 time, which I'm already ranking for within a day or two, is 80-20 rule. It's going to also help me rank for that as well. So that is another thing that I'm doing right now. We're working on those keywords. We're going to work on long tail keywords. Long tail keywords don't take that much to rank for, and not a lot of competition. And hi, how's it going? What a lot of people I think have totally wrong about long tail keywords is they're like, well, yeah, but there's not many searches, there's not much traffic from it. It's like, well, yeah, but you have to look at it. The people that know to use long tail terms as the ones that have products and blog are people that know enough to know what the long tail should be, and then the people searching, they're not searching for like what is SEO or what is growth hacking. These are people that are looking for exact terms that are further along in the sales funnel, that are closer to a decision or buying point. So the beginners on both ends meet with the beginning headlines, the short term sometimes. Some short terms are obviously really good, but then the long tail terms, the more advanced people meet on the long tail on both ends. So both like the broadcaster, publisher, and both like the person seeking them out. What you seek is seeking you, as Rumi says. Are you, am I? Rumi. So those are things to keep in mind as well. So I'm just giving you some examples of what I would do as like a growth hacker mindset. Is I study videos from the best on YouTube, and so I study the best on YouTube. I hire people on Fiverr for full-time leverage. I got people that are helping with rankings and backlinks. I have people that are doing keyword research, really big, and I might have them do keyword research on some other verticals as well, in very long tail type stuff, because that doesn't take as many backlinks. So another strategy that I have is, let's say we take 1,500 keywords long tail. Most of them are at long tail, and you work for the short tail long term. That takes a really long time to go after those usually. The long tail ones are the low hanging fruit that you can go after now. So another example is, let's say we have 1,500, and within the first 2 to 4 weeks, we reached the top #1 spot on like 100 of them. Well, those might not take a lot of backlinks or a lot of work in the future. So what we might do is just take those 100 and put them on the back burner for now and put another 100 in there and start putting that into the 1500. Because it doesn't make sense to necessarily to just keep adding backlinks and keep building links for stuff you already ranked #1 for, you know. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. A couple other things that I saw in these videos for growth hacking, and I wish I could remember them exactly the way he said them, but DigitalOcean, what he did is he said they went after all of their competitors' followers on Twitter, downloaded, exported the whole list, however they did it. I'd have to look into how to actually do that. And then they basically went and paid for advertising on Twitter to advertise to all their competitors' followers on Twitter. That's a genius idea. Another thing, I forget the other guy's name. He's from startupsauce.com. Forget his name. Excellent video. It's about 30 minutes long almost. And I'm trying to think of what he did. He was talking a lot about growth hacking and conversions and some of that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to think of some of the tricks that he did. He I don't remember all of them right now, but one of them was the retargeting and the adroll.com. And he uses perfectaudience.com. And for example, what he does is he'll email out to like some other company who has targeted followers a huge list, a huge email list. What he'll do is they'll email out to like a really large list with the right headline. Then within that email, it's probably HTML email, he will put in the cookie code. And then what will end up happening is a cookie will download to their computer. So imagine thousands of people that it downloads to their computer, but the headline filtered it so you know they're targeted, right? But so here's what's cool about that, is now he's going to go use perfectaudience.com, and he's going to use Google Networks and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And now his ad, of all the people that open that email, they didn't even have to click an email. They didn't have to do anything in the email. People that open the email are now going to be followed by his ads all over the internet, all because he got that code on there. And it's not like regular banner advertising. It's extremely targeted advertising. It's like 1/100th of the cost. That's why it's a growth hacking tweak, and it's a really good idea. So those are just like a couple ideas. These guys had so many more ideas than that. And when you follow a lot of growth hacking, you've tried a lot of this stuff with data-driven analysis. Work in Bloomington. Cool. Where do you work at? Near the Best Buy over near 494 Mall America. And so it's really cool. I don't actually know that company, Sruti, and tell me a little bit about what they do. And so I have a lot of marketing friends around town, and we love to talk about growth hacking and all these little tricks and hacks and everything that are shortcuts to everything that we're looking for. And HR outsourcing. Okay, cool. My sister went to college at Northwestern for HR, and I like outsourcing. I've used Odesk, and I was just actually looking at the same time just 30 minutes ago about how Elance and Odesk, he was saying at the end of that video how they're the same company now. Upwork.com is what they are now. So I've talked to thousands of people on Odesk. I've hired a lot of those people. Personally, you could probably get people to work a little bit cheaper on Odesk than you can Fiverr, but I can do some future ones about Fiverr. But the people on Fiverr are just experts at what they're experts at, and I just let them do what they do. And a lot of times they know the answer to the question I don't even know, and they're just like, this is what I do. I'm like, oh, that's actually better than what I thought. It's more aligned with what I was looking for. So I use a lot of Fiverr people, and I'll do many more about Fiverr. Typically, I use the backlinks people. I use the SEO people. I use the ranking people. I've been using a little bit of the YouTube people. I've used a lot of the people in the past for graphics and just fun promotional stuff and cool custom videos and all that. But I'm more into like building long-term type stuff, like the SEO and organic and some of that kind of stuff. I just think it's a better investment of time. About 6 years on Fiverr, I think I've done about 500 or 600 gigs. So I've done a lot on there. And then Odesk, I've also talked off and on over 2 or 3 years with a couple thousand people, probably very briefly, and I've probably hired 30 to 50 people on there. So I've outsourced a lot of stuff to a lot of people, and it's fun. It's great. the learning curve of teaching people is what took up the most amount of my time. So I just like the people on Fiverr that are just experts at what they're experts at, and I'm just like, here's the $5. It's worth far more than even 10 or 15 bucks. It's the time savings. They have all the software, all the other cool stuff. So, okay, so that's what I got for now, guys. I'll give you a lot more growth hacking tips in the future. I'm starting to do keyword targeting for 80-20, 80-20 rule, 80-20 your time, growth hacking, and 10x. And I'll give you guys a lot more growth hacking tips as I watch these videos every day. I'll give you a lot of the highlights. Thanks, guys. It was good to meet you from Bloomington there, and hopefully